He's onside this time. He's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0.
From the thunderous roar of the stadium to the silent moments that made history, from the dusty fields of Africa to the bright lights of the world stage, this is Sports Echo.
It's volleyed and he's in. A goal in 50 seconds. A goal in 50 seconds from Milan. Would you believe it? Paolo Maldini, the skipper, has scored it. Here's Kaka. Lifted into Shevchenko. He's onside this time. He's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0. Hernan Crespo. Look at that from Kaka. And what a pass too for Crespo. And what a goal that is. What a goal that is. Hernan Crespo again. Sublime pass by Kaka. Milan now play football in this world. Towards Gerrard! Hello! Hello! Here we go! Steven Gerrard puts a grain of doubt in the back of Milan minds and gives hope to all the many thousands of Liverpool fans.
Good afternoon, sport lovers. This is Sport Echoes on Melody 100.7 FM. On this show, we dive deep into the stories behind the scores, the legends, the heartbreaks, the breakthroughs, and the unforgettable moments that shape sports as we know it today. And yes, there's also the quiz segment where I ask questions, and if you get them, you're gonna win something right there. Alright, from Nigerian golden goals to Olympic shocks to African giants that shook the world stage, this show is your backstage pass to the past. I'm going to be bringing you facts, voices, memories, and maybe even a few chills as we relive the moments that made fans scream, nations proud, and history take notes. So whether you're in traffic or at home or you're just chilling with your radio, I promise you this, after today, you'll never see sports the same way again. Alright, I welcome you in the name of the chairman of Melody FM. Yes, Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo, Papa Authority. And also the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM, Mr. Eniola Afolabi, the sports marshal. The producer of this show, Pretty the Finest, Adegoke. Adenike Adesoye is the studio manager for today. Moses, my brother, is in charge of the engineering. And yes, there's Auntie Fee in the building right there. Yes, the host of Melody Kids also showed support right there. Daniel Adeyemi is also in the building. Alright, I'm Akinbobola. Egunfemi, welcome aboard. And yes, in the world of sport, we celebrate the champions, the record breakers, and the household names. But behind every shining star are figures whose contributions rarely make the headlines. And they are the coaches, the pioneers, the overlooked athletes, and the forgotten legends who shaped the game in silence. Today on Sport Echoes, Unsung Heroes, yes, Unsung Heroes, a journey into the stories of those who gave everything to sport, yet never got the spotlight they deserve. Today, we honor their echoes so they will never fade. I mean, so many people that have given everything to sport, but they don't make the spotlight. And yes, when we think of sport, we often remember the famous players, the likes of JJ Okocha. I mean, most recently, Toby Amuson, Kanu Nwankwo, Stephen Kashi. But before they wore the national colors, before they became household names, they were unsung heroes at the grassroots. Coaches, teachers, and organizers who discovered them. And they also nurtured them and gave them a platform. These are the local legends of sport. And today on the program, Unsung Heroes, these same set of people, yes, the coaches, the teachers, the organizers, I mean, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I mean, giving them their plaudits, giving them their flowers. I mean, some of them are even late. But then, may their soul rest in peace. So I divided it into three segments. First, the Nigerian legends. The second one, African legends. And yes, the last one, world legends. So we'll first of all talk about the Nigerian legends. I mean, those names that have given back to sport, but they never made a spotlight. Then we'll move to Africa, take a few names, then we'll go onto the global map and talk about some of the names right there. Okay, starting from Nigeria. One name that echoes quietly in Nigerian football history is Sebastian Bodrix Imasuan. In 1985, he led Nigeria's Golden Eaglets to our very first FIFA Under-17 World Cup victory. It was a moment that put Nigeria on global football map. Yet, while many young players became stars, the coach behind it all never got the same recognition. His tactical mind and quiet leadership built a foundation that inspired generations of youths. Yeah, he inspired generations of youth tournaments in Nigeria. Today, many remember the goals, but few remember the man who made it possible. So the first name, once again, is Sebastian Bodrix Imasuan. Alright, Joseph Errico, born in 1946. Errico was a goalkeeper and even represented the Green Eagles in the 1970s. But when his playing career ended early, he didn't walk away from football. Instead, he turned to coaching, and this is where his true legacy began. I'm certain some of my fathers right there in Lagos, they would remember this man, because in Lagos, Errico built grassroots football academies that trained young boys who couldn't afford professional setups. Many times, he used his own money to buy footballs, jerseys, and even feed the players. He taught them discipline, creativity, and respect for the game. He was part of the coaching crew of the Super Eagles, working with Shoaibu Amodu and Stephen Kashi to qualify Nigeria for the 2002 FIFA World Cup. But while the headlines celebrated the players, Errico's remained in the background, content with building others. And yes, unlike the stars he mentored, Errico never got the fame or fortune. Yes, but his impact was undeniable. Many Lagos footballers, that's why I said my fathers, I mean, the ones that, yes, that gave back to us, I mean, they would remember this man. Many Lagos footballers, from league players to internationals, passed through his hands. To them, he wasn't just a coach, he was a father figure who believed football with joy, the true, beautiful game. That's a man from Lagos. Now, Ibadan football godfather. Guess what? Baba Eleron Muritala Elegbede. Before coming on the show, I and Adinike did some type of pronunciation. We're trying to analyze the name. I mean, in Yoruba, some said Elegbede, Elegbede, this and that. But then, I mean, permit me, Muritala Elegbede. Yes. Though Baba Eleron was not a coach in the traditional sense, he played a crucial role in the lives of every shooting stars player of his era. He was in the stands on the field side, supporting, motivating, sometimes even advising. Players and fans say his devotion helped sustain the club through difficult times. Names like those of the Adewale Bridge Boys or many who donned the blue-white of 3SC in the 1970s and 1980s will tell you that Baba Eleron's support was part of the strength, even if they never directly thanked him in interviews. So first name Joseph Eriko, the second name Baba Eleron, right here in Ibadan. I mean, yes, it's late, and he has given us a 2 cents for 3SC, that's the Shooting Stars Club of Ibadan, in the 1970s and 1980s. I mean, he showed his support. I mean, one name we always have to give kudos to when it comes to football right here in Ibadan. Another name is Ayodele Solaja. Yes, yeah, he discovered Toby Amuson. He discovered her at an inter-house sports event at Our Ladies of Apostles Ijebu Ode when she was in GSS class. He then coached her. Yes, he was the one that discovered her. And right now, Toby Amuson, not just anybody, world record holder. Maybe if that man didn't discover Toby Amuson, probably somebody else would have done that. But then, we have to give thumbs up to this man that did that. Hence why Ayodele Solaja is making sport echoes today, talking about unsung heroes. And also Alaba Ogunde, a coach in Ogun State Sport Council. Toby Amuson also claimed that she discovered Toby while visiting schools in rural and urban Ijebu Ode. So first, Ayodele Solaja discovered that in junior secondary school. Just maybe he didn't have the capacity to do all of that. Alaba Ogunde took it up from there while visiting schools in rural and urban Ijebu Ode. Hence why we have the world record holder, Toby Amuson. Another name is Emily Osakwe. She converted Blessing Okagbari from 400 meters to long jump in 2001 and laid much of her early athletic foundation. So it was Emily Osakwe that converted Blessing Okagbari from 400 meters to long jump, where she actually did really well. Coach Oyali of Spartans of Owerri, the man who discovered Chioma Ajunwa. He advised her that she had potential as a sprinter because of her speed when she was still focused on football, which helped her to switch to athletics. And I'm certain that everyone knows the Chioma Ajunwa. So if only Coach Oyali did not advise her to switch from football to athletics, maybe she would have continued with football, eventually making it as a top star. But her name might probably not go global, just like the way she did in athletics. Because in football, 11 players, before you can be that standout like the likes of Asisat Oshoala, it takes a lot of things to do right there. You have to put in the work, dedication. And in football, you might be a squad player just in the midfield doing very, very well, just like Pedri right there at Barcelona, but you're not getting the fame. It's Lamine Yamal everyone is calling. So that's one thing about football. But Chioma Ajunwa, she was able to rediscover herself through the help of Coach Oyale of Spartan Owerri, which eventually led her to switch to athletics. It's big ups to these names I've mentioned. So leaving Nigeria straight to Africa's local legends. Brother Com O'Connell. Yes, I'm going to be starting with that man. Yes, Com O'Connell from Kenya, an Irish missionary who became the godfather of Kenyan running. In a small school in Eton, he trained barefoot runners who became Olympic and world champions, including David Rudisha. O'Connell lived simply, but his work transformed Kenya into the world's running powerhouse. Now, when you talk about long distance in the Olympics, in the World Championships, you always have to give it to Kenya. You talk about Kenya, Ethiopia. Those are strong names when it comes to long distance race. You talk about 800 meters, 1.5, talk about marathon. You can go on and on, but you always see a Kenyan there, first, second, or third. Growing up, I saw David Rudisha also do. He did wonders too. Yes, he was the Olympic champion at that time when he was running. I was gonna say Mo Farah, but Mo Farah represented. Is he UK? Yeah. But it looks like one of those Kenya guys, and also maybe one of the Ethiopian guys, because he's actually black. Now, talking about brother Cobb O'Connell, he was that man that started the journey for Kenya right there. The likes of David Rudisha, who became Olympic and world champions. Yes, now he was the godfather of Kenya running in a school in Eton. He trained them barefooted, without shoes. And this man was that man that trained them, made the likes of David Rudisha became the global stars they are right now today. Away from that, Cliff Barker, 1944 to 2023. That was when he died. 1944 to 2023. He was South African football coach, best remembered for leading Bafana to their first and only African Cup of Nations title in 1996. Just 2 years after the end of apartheid, he also qualified South Africa for their first FIFA World Cup in 1998, though he left before the tournament. Before the national team, Barker coached several South African clubs like AmaZulu, Durban City, and Mani Rangers, earning respect for working across racial divides during apartheid, he was known as People's Coach, who united communities and gave local players opportunities. Though his AFCON win was historic and symbolic for South Africa's new democracy, Baka is often overlooked outside his country, making him a true unsung hero of African football. So in the African segment, we've had O'Connell and Clive Barker right there. Also, Bolt, first Kenya Winter Olympian. Bolt was the first person from Kenya to compete in a Winter Olympic Games. He made his Winter Olympics debut in 1998 Nagano in a cross-country skiing 10-kilometer classic race. So this man Bolt was the first person from Kenya to compete in a Winter Olympic Games. He made his Winter Olympics debut in 1998 Nagano. He then switched from athletics to skiing in 1996 when Nike ran a program recruiting Kenyan runners to train in a winter sport. He had never seen snow before training in Europe. He trained in Finland and Norway, places with snow and cold climates completely unfamiliar to him. And when his sponsorship ended, he had improvised using roller skies, training in Kenya without snow. So after his sponsorship ended, he had to improvise using roller skies, training in Kenya without snow. Imagine that. He then competed in 3 Winter Olympics, 1998 Nagano, just like I earlier mentioned, 2002 Salt Lake City, 2006 in Turin. While he finished at or near bottom in many events, his presence was symbolic, inspiring many across Africa. I don't think I've seen anyone in Nigeria, do all of these competitions that has to do with skiing, maybe Formula One. But yes, someone from Africa that did justice to all of that. But I'm not done when it comes to this man, Bolt. After finishing last in Nagano, Norway's Bojan Jelly, the gold medalist, waited for Bolt at the finish line to congratulate him. That moment got a lot of international attention and is remembered as an emblem of the Olympic spirit. Then afterwards, Bolt's effort encouraged others in Africa to consider winter sport. Even though Kenya is known mainly for track and distance running, his story broadened perceptions and showed that uncommon paths are possible. And that's that on African legends. So I've talked about the Nigerian legends, done with African legends now, with the likes of Clive Barker, Boyd making the list, and O'Connell. And now to the final set of legends. Yes, Nigeria, in terms of the pecking order, Nigeria first, second Africa, now to the global local legends. Yeah, first is Dean Smith. Now, before Michael Jordan was a global superstar, he was just a young college player at the University of North Carolina. His coach, Dean Smith, molded him and countless others, but history often forgets the teacher while celebrating the student. But I've heard Michael Jordan a couple of times talk about his coach, Dean Smith. In fact, they even interviewed him, that's Dean Smith. But before Michael Jordan came on board, there was Dean Smith who groomed him, made him a global star, gave him advices, trained him, made him a global star right there. So it's big ups to Dean Smith, and he was that man that trained Michael Jordan. He was his coach, he molded him, and countless others. And yeah, on Sport Echoes, and giving him a thumbs up. Alright, we also have Big Buckingham. He managed West Brom Albion from 1953 to 1959. In 1954, he won the FA Cup with them and almost won the League too. Came close to doing the double. Went abroad, especially to Ajax, where he won the Dutch League Eredivisie in 1959 to 1960. Gave Johan Cruyff his senior debut at Ajax when Cruyff was about 17 years. He also managed Barcelona with a notable season in 1970 to 1971. His Barcelona side won the Copa del Rey and came very close to winning the league. Buckingham was seen as ahead of his time in England, favoring passing, possession, moving the ball rather than long balls or purely physical play. So that was his philosophy. He liked favoring passing, possession, moving the ball rather than long balls or purely physical play. His team were often praised for their attractive football, moving, passing, keeping the ball, making positional play that matters. Because of that, many consider him a forerunner to the total football philosophy that later blossomed in Netherlands under Rinus Michels and players like Johan Cruyff. Buckingham's influence is often under-acknowledged in England. Even though in places like Ajax and Barcelona, his contributions are better remembered, but in England, you're not giving him that flower that he deserves. And just maybe, if that man is alive, maybe England would have won maybe the World Cup, because right now they've been struggling to do that. With crops of players like Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, they've not won anything. And they're not giving him that thumbs up. Maybe if Buckingham, maybe still alive, he would give them that passing, that possession, moving the ball, rather than having Jordan Henderson do the long balls. And yes, finally, on these segments, in Brazil's favelas, Many children grew up amid poverty, violence, lack of infrastructure, and limited opportunity. Sport, especially football, often becomes one of their few escape routes and sources of hope. That's in Brazil right there. Local coaches, volunteers, and community organizers set up street football teams, training sessions, and youth projects. These are often informal, unpaid, or purely funded, but their impact is real, offering safe spaces, teaching discipline, teamwork, hope, and sometimes helping kids stay off the streets. An example and details of Favela Street Girls, a project started with just 5 to 8 girls, has grown to 80. Girls from this program have played in Street Child World Cup in 2014 and won. 2 of these girls also became coaches themselves. Through this community, organizing daily football activities for younger kids. Another example is Play Life Vidigal Rio de Janeiro in Brazil right there, an initiative combining sports, football, education, and life skills. It especially focuses on girls. Tamires Domingos is a standout among them. She's joined as a young star, helped pull more girls in, and now is a project coach and coordinator right there. I had to add this because of what Brazil always do in football. You talk about the Joga Bonito, the likes of Ronaldinho, Kaká. In fact, some of the likes of the most recent Gabriel Jesus, Neymar. These are guys that maybe somebody did not give them that opportunity right there in Brazil. We wouldn't have seen the best. And talking about Brazil's style of play, always very nice to watch, exciting dribbles. You talk about Neymar, Ronaldinho, Robinho, Rivaldo, always having the Lucas Paqueta. You always see that brilliance in them, trying to dribble, trying to make football entertaining right there. It's not always boring when Brazilians are with ball. But in recent times, we've not seen the best of Brazil. For me, I would say after the part of Neymar Jr., I've not seen that exciting player that have matched up with the likes of Ronaldinho moving, or maybe from Pele moving to Ronaldinho, Kaká, and to Neymar. I've not seen that players. Maybe the Favela. After giving you all of this plaudits, you guys need to do something. Yes, get one player that will give us that joy, excitement. From Brazil. Now, having talked about Nigeria legends, African legends, or in quote, unsung heroes, and the global legends. Now, one award I would want to talk about is BBC. There's always an award given annually as part of the BBC Sports Personality of the Year ceremony every December. The award is given to the sports person who has made substantive yet unrecognized contribution to sports. Now, I have to give them that thumbs up because, they know what to do, giving plaudits to people that have contributed to societies, to sport in general, and maybe we should have that type of award in Nigeria. A call for that type of award where they remember some of the people that brought the greats. I mean, imagine the person that pushed Victor James Osimhen to playing football, because we know how many people are on the streets who can actually play good football, but they don't have anyone to push them. Eventually they get big and nobody talks about them. But one thing is, some of these top players, they always give plaudits to the people that gave them the opportunity to showcase themselves. And I always appreciate people that do that. Just like Michael Jordan, he would always talk about his teacher, Dean Smith. Having to do a lot of research, I saw the likes of Michael Jordan, give plaudits to his teacher. I was expecting to see more from Africa and Nigeria. I wasn't seeing any of them. But yes, it's a call also to the athletes themselves. Always give special plaudits to whoever gave you that opportunity, and always assist them, because that's the reason why you're global today. So I talked about the BBC Sport Unsung Hero Award. Let's go on to listen to how the event is like and some of the people that were given award right there.
He's always supporting us, he's always there watching the game.
BBC South's Unsung Sporting Hero of 2009.
He's always there watching the game.
BBC South.
He's always supporting us, he's always there watching the game.
BBC South's Unsung Sporting Hero of 2009.
The England coach's job, okay. Well, I'm sure there's people in the room.
Fantastic, absolutely amazed. Brilliant.
The newest category, Unsung Hero, was given to Jim Williams, the driving force behind South Reading Football Club.
That's good. Dedicated. Fantastic. Enthusiastic.
Many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so that was a short audio on the BBC Award, how it's like. And one of the things I could take away from it was when they announced the 2009 award winner, rather, and the kids were shouting, they were rejoicing, because even at that point in time, it was nurturing kids in that community. It was doing so well for them, and they were so happy to see their teacher winning an award. So in Nigeria, I expect something like that. Yes, hopefully it gets up there. All right, it's time for the quiz segment where I ask questions, and if you win something, I'm going to give you something after the show, yeah. All right, the studio lines are 070-2520-107, 070-2520-107. You can as well call 070-5507-107. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Jacob, and I'm calling you from Old Ife Road.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jacob. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Did you listen to the show?
Yes.
Is there any one of them you recognize?
Yes, I recognize some of the things what you discussed.
Okay. All right, let's move straight to the quiz segment.
Okay.
All right, I pick a number from 1 to 20.
Yes, I pick question number 1.
Question number 1. Okay, so which country hosted the first modern Olympics in 1896? In 1896. Which country hosted the first modern Olympic Games in 1896?
Which country?
I mean, it's a familiar name of how Olympics started. You would always hear it when you talk about Olympics. Try. All right, you can always call back. You can always.
Okay, I'll call back.
All right.
Again.
So the answer is Greece, Athens, to be precise. Greece, it was the first country that hosted the Olympic Games in 1896. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Michael from Gates.
Michael from Gates.
Yeah.
All right. So pick a number from 1 to 20.
Number 20.
Number 20. Okay. In basketball, are you listening?
Yes.
How many points is a shot made behind the 3-point line worth?
How many shots?
How many points? In basketball, how many points is a shot made behind the 3-point line worth?
3.
Yeah?
3.
Okay, 3. You're correct. What's the name again?
Michael.
So I'll read out my number. Towards the end of the show, you call me afterwards, then you get something.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for calling. Alright, the studio lines are 070-2520-107, 070-2520-107. You can as well call 070-5507-107, 070-5507-107. Okay, I lost that call. You can call back. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's Jacob calling back to make second attempt.
All right. Pick a number.
Okay. I pick question number 10 this time.
Okay.
Question number 10.
All right.
Yeah.
So, which country is known as the birthplace of rugby?
The best what?
The birthplace of rugby. which country is known as the birthplace of rugby?
Rocky. Sweden.
Nah, you're wrong, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Daniel.
Daniel.
From Monia.
Monia. All right. Pick a number from
Number one.
Number one. Number one has been picked.
Okay, number 2.
Okay, number 2. All right. So, in tennis, what is the term used when the score is 40-40?
What did you say?
In tennis, what is the term used when the score is 40-40?
A draw.
Nah, you're wrong. So the answer is deuce. 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 40-40 is a deuce. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where are you calling from?
This is Moses from Akobo.
Moses from Akobo. All right, pick a number from 1 to 20.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so who is the only man to win FIFA World Cup both as a player and as a coach?
As a player and as a coach.
As a coach, yes. Nah. To win the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup both as a player and as a coach.
I'll call back.
All right. Alright, that man that mentioned the sham is actually correct. Yeah, on my books there's Zagallo, but DJ Deschamps has won the World Cup as a player. He won it in 1998, and he also won it with France at the World Cup 2018. So you're correct. So I'll read out my number, and you call, and you're going to win something afterwards. Alright, it's time to go. Yes. As we close today's episode on Sport Echoes, yes, on Song Heroes, we remind ourselves that the names we've mentioned are only a handful among countless others who gave their all to sport. For every Joseph Errico, Sebastian Bodrix, or Cliff Barker, there are hundreds of quiet mentors, coaches, organizers, and supporters whose legacy may never be spoken, but will forever echo in the victories we celebrate. Alright, special thanks to Adenike Adese, who is the studio manager for today. Moses is other engineering, doing justice to that. Special thanks to the producer of the show, Pretty the Finest, Adegoke. Eniola Afolabi, the sports marshal, is the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM. And also the chairman, Melody FM, Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo, Baba Authority. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the platform. I do not take it for granted. And for the two winners, yeah, my number is 081 11 744 773. 081 11 744 773. 0811 744 773. Alright, until later today on Complete Sport, when I come your way again, I'm Akinbobola, Egunfemi. Good afternoon.